I knew that was me then, because obviously I switched quickly from one device to another.
I know. Hello, everyone. Not too many on board yet. Evil arch conservatives on board. Welcome to the History Through World Numismatics. Myself and my co-host Dale here. How you doing, Dale?
I'm doing very well. I'm just getting confused with the time down there, 1815 to 1890. I have to remind myself this is not the time.
Yeah, that's a very short video.
4 minutes. See, the thing is, we use a 24-hour clock over here. In some places, it's just use a normal analog.
Well, when you're used to using the 2400-hour clock.
We have Ferrari, we have the AC and Polar Bear. Great to see AC here. Absolutely awesome. Great to see Ferrari P45.
Oh, Fair Rip 45.
There we are.
He was one of the ones I think I needed. Yes. Fair Rip 45. I need you to send me your address so I can send you out your coin. I got your envelope sitting here waiting to go out, but I got no address to send it to. This is my email.
Rob Coins Adventures.
You send it to that email, you get it. But yeah, I'm all ready to go. There's a few other ones. Rob Coins Event. Oh, there's another one. Rob Coins. I need your email and your address as well, Robert's Coins.
I was hoping to get this done as quick as I can, so I can quickly go over to Starry Lost and Founds thing, but I got behind.
And we got Euro Coin Hunt. Welcome aboard.
Euro Coin Hunt, great to see you. So we're doing dates from 1815 to 1819, and your notifications just come up. That's the first notification I've had for ages. I just know when you're going to go live, obviously, but that's the first notifications I've had. I had a notification one day from my own stream, and it came on after I finished streaming. So I got 2 pieces of history here for every day. So if I just go over these quickly, if you want me to first.
Oh, by all means, I'll give you the lay of the land there, my friend.
Alrighty. So welcome to History of Coins, the Numismaniac, the coin news of yesterday from 1815 to 1819, your local UK and world history today. 1815.
Awesome.
This is UK history I'm doing. So
okay, I got Canadian here.
1815. The miner's lamp is an English invention by Humphrey Davy. Humphrey Davy was an English chemist and inventor from Cornwall who invented the Davy lamp and the very early form of arc lamp. You may ask yourself, what is a Davy lamp? A Davy lamp is a safety lamp used for flammable atmospheres, invented in 1815 by Sir Humphrey Davy. It consists of a wick lamp with a flame enclosed inside a mesh screen. It was created for use in coal mines to reduce the danger of explosions due to the presence of methane and other flammable gases called a fire damp or a mine damp. Humphrey Davy was born in 17th December 1778 in Penzance, Cornwall, England, and he died on the 29th of May 1829, aged 50, in Geneva, Switzerland. And my second piece of information, the Cambridgenian Society founded one of the oldest debating societies in the world. Founded at the University of Cambridge, the Cambridgenian has a long and extensive tradition of hosting prominent figures from all areas of public life in its chamber, both state and international based, including the Dalai Lama, President Ronald Reagan, Bill Gates, Stephen Hawking, the Prime Minister Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, John Major, President candidate Bernie Sanders, as well as comedian Stephen Fry, and previous presidents of the Cambridge Union have included Ariana Huffington and economist John Maynard Keynes. The Cambridge Union Society is also, as the Cambridge Union, is a debating and free speech society in Cambridge, in England, and the largest society in the University of Cambridge, founded in 1815, is the oldest continuously running debate society in the world.
Wow.
So I thought that might be a little bit of interest there.
That is very interesting.
So that's 1815.
Would you like to see a coin?
I've got a coin here, 1815.
Oh, you got one there too. Hold it. I gotta bring that up. Okay, there you go. Is that a token? That
is a bank token, a shilling of 1815. This is from Chards, and this will set you back £495.
Oh, good grief.
And so it's 1815. And of course, we all know what the front's going to be. It's going to be a bull head. George Jarvis III, Dei Gratia Rex, which means by the grace of God, king. George Jarvis is George, obviously, in Latin. So got the floral reef going on. That's the bull head. And so yeah, that's mine out the way for the moment.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll share you. And that's a Salon one stiver. And of course, that's an 1815. And of course, that one there is also King George III.
So it's George Jarvis III, Dei Gratia Britanniarum Rex, I think.
Yep. Interesting coins. Got some great information here, guys. My turn. Canada. Canada in 1815 saw the Great Migration. It's the big one when so many from the fighting in Europe and, of course, the War of 1812, the British soldiers found that they really liked the looks of North America and Canada in particular, going from the towns and villages in the UK to the wilds of the Canadian wilderness, fresh air and blue waters and fish and trees and plots of land. So that was a major thing. The Treaty of Ghent was signed. That was done with General Andrew Jackson, and he won an overwhelming victory at the Battle of New Orleans, which is an interesting one. A bill was given to the Speaker of the House in the UK. The salary was £1,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Governor General Prevost informs Parliament the then Prince Regent, Prince George IV, was ordered him to England to answer charges of the naval commander. That was interesting. And Parliament voted £25,000 for a canal from Montreal to Lachine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's still running today, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow, I just think that's what, nearly almost 206 years old.
Hi, Bud Files. Yeah, I see. 26th of February, 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte escapes from exile on Elba. That made the British very happy.
I'm just going through some of the history here. We have Evil Arch Conservative. I'm just going to catch up with the history because obviously 1815, January 3rd, Bern U.S. Library. Oh, January 3rd, Bern U.S. Library Congress to re-establish the Thomas Jefferson's 6,500 volumes. Wow. 18th of June, 18th, the Battle of Waterloo. Lord Byron, we spoke about that one last time, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Lord Byron marrying his cousin and all that, which is pretty interesting. That's actually a really interesting story, to be fair. So Austria, Britain, and Bourbon restores France from the Secret Defense Alliance Treaty against Prussia and Russia, yeah. And the world's first commercial cheese factory established in Switzerland. Oh, that's actually really interesting. I love cheese. So I like that one.
Yeah. As long as it's not stinky cheese.
As you just said, the American forces suffer 60 casualties and the British lose about 2,000 for about 30 minutes out. So they've done a slow march, I think. William proclaims himself the first king of the Netherlands. War of 1812 captures USS President, American frigate USS President 18. Commodore Stephen.
Again, there's still a lot going on.
Yeah, especially with the skirmishes and wars, and I think some of these people don't know when to give up or when to stop fighting because.
I wonder what the Hartford Convention was. It says the Hartford Convention arrived in Washington in February of 1815. Wonder what that was all about. That's something to look up.
Was that something to do with probably like you got and now like Hartford University or something like
that? I couldn't tell you, but if anybody knows, share it with us because it's nice to have Hartford Convention. What is it?
I can check it out.
May 16th, the governor of New South Wales, Lachlan Macquarie, officially names the town of Blackheath in the Upper Blue Mountains. I bet you that would be a wild place at that time.
There you go. The Hartford Convention was a series of meetings from December 15th, 1814 to the 5th of January 1815. Hartford, Connecticut, United States, is where New England Federalist Party met to discuss grievances concerning an ongoing war of 1812 and the political problems arising from the federal government's increasing power. The convention discussed removing the 3/5 compromises of requiring a 2/3 majority in Congress for the administration of new states' declarations of war and creating laws restricting trade. Federalists also discussed grievances with Louisiana Purchase and embargo of 1807. Well, that's probably doing the slave trade as well, I should imagine.
Yeah. See, Marty's in the house. Hi, Marty.
Marty's nuts about digging. He's a great guy, he is.
Hello, puppy dog. Oh, you've been outside.
There's also secret meetings. There's also and all 26 delegates attended a secret meeting. No records of proceedings were kept. Interesting.
Yeah, the thing that about the Napoleonic period that we all know that Napoleon was banished to Elba, and then they reinstated the monarchy in France, and suddenly he's back in France, Wonder did the French monarch that was established in there run over to Britain to hide, or
That's
what
what
happened?
normally happens. They take advocacy in England,
Yeah.
or whatever it's called. It's not an application, is it? It's
Oh, it's
what do they call it now? The last person to do that was De Gaulle, wasn't it?
yeah, that's right.
And I can't remember what it's called. It's not an application.
Like a government in exile.
Yeah, it's like an exile. There is a name for it. Chicken out? No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I have to. Oh, I can't remember the name of the. Was it Louis? King Louis? Or was it Philip?
What, the Sun King?
The one who went to come over to England. I can't remember what his name was. Oh,
I think Robert's Coin's got some good stuff here. I'm going to slip down to him. He says, Napoleonic Wars, Louis the, what is that? The 18th returns to Paris and is restored as King of France. He had declared himself king on the 8th of June, 17, at the death of his nephew, 10-year-old Louis. Oh,
yeah, Louis. I thought it was Louis.
Yeah, the 15th, 16th, 17th.
Ghent, Belgium, yeah.
But that is, again, that where we were talking about now, Napoleon is back on the ground, and the monarchy has bailed again.
Yeah, for the second time.
Oh, there it is, right there, right in front of me. He went to Belgium. Exile.
Yeah, I thought it was Louis. I'm pretty sure it was Louis. My first guess would have been Louis. The second wave of Amish immigration in North America begins. Falls HMS Balafron of Rockford and surrenders to Captain Frederick Lewis of the Royal Navy.
We're backwards now because that was when he went to Elba. The
thing is, people's knocking up the same stuff when it's a little bit behind it. You know, it's hard to keep up with the coining around.
I see you coining around. Yeah. Actually, if you ever get the chance to go to not Elba, it was Saint Helena that he finally ended up on. And you can actually go to the town, and actually they got a whole bunch of stuff there with Napoleon, his final days. But that's getting ahead of myself here.
Haven't they got his uniform still there?
I don't know if do they? I know they had his house and his
one of his pieces.
Yeah, I had pieces of kit
tiny,
there.
But he actually wasn't a tiny person.
Well, it happens with age, you know. I used to be able to see my feet when I stood to attention.
I have the same problem these days. My feet's got smaller. That's what it is. That's what I say. Gravity's against me. My feet's got smaller. Napoleonic Wars transferred HMS Northumberland and began forces. Final second exile. Yeah. And St. Helena and the South Atlantic Ocean.
Awesome.
Oh, Helena.
Yes. Well, let's slip into 1816 then. Moving it on. Now I'll do a quick show of a coin to get things started here. And do you have an 1816 coin to show as well?
Hopefully I do.
Very popular figure.
Yeah, he's going to be around for a little bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Until 1820. Actually, no, it's probably his last year, isn't it? 1820, I think.
I like the reverse on this one.
Oh yeah. So you have in the bottom left you have obviously Northern Ireland. The top left quadrant, bottom right quadrant is England, and the top right quadrant is Scotland. And the encircle around that, what you can see there is actually a belt buckle that's called the garter. And then you have the shield inside there, which I believe should be the Tudor Rose. And you've got the James IV diadem at the top of the shield.
So that would be reference the Order of the Garter.
Order of the Garter, yeah.
Very interesting. That's
cool. I can't pronounce what's inside that. You're the Latin man, so you be able to.
Do you have something to show?
Actually, it's going to be pretty much the similar coin.
Is it?
Yeah.
That one's really clear. That one looks pristine.
So we all know what this is, don't we? This is going to be. So this is actually a beautiful looking coin. I say, oh my God, I just lost it again. Just go back. Right. Not that one. I don't know why it keeps going to that one. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Basically, what we just shown there was a shilling. In fact, a shilling was I believe it was 12 pence back then in them days, and designed by Berendetto Pistatruzzi. I can't pronounce his name. And Thomas Wyan. They're 92.5% silver. And they can go from really cheap, obviously depending on condition, to really expensive. But they are absolutely beautiful coins. Benedetto Pistatruzzi. I can't get my blinking tongue working. But good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing safe and well. Great to see Bo Selector, Sky's Quest 2K8. Great to see you. 1816. Oh, it's back to me, is it?
It is back to you.
Okay. Alrighty.
Gee, I wouldn't think St. John's, Newfoundland would have had too many structures in 1816. I can guarantee you they were wood.
Yeah, so just okay. 1816. Preston becomes the first English town outside of London with gas lighting publicly available, promoted by the Jesuit priest Joseph Dunn. Gas lighting, you may ask. Gas lighting was the production of artificial light from the combustion of gaseous fuels such as hydrogen, methane, carbon monoxide, propane, butane, acetylene, ethylene, coal gas, or known as town gas or natural gas. Before electricity became significantly widespread and economical to allow the general public to use, gas was the most prevalent method of outdoor and indoor lighting in cities and suburbs. Areas where infrastructure is distributed and the gaseous fuels was practical. Joseph Dunn, Reverend Joseph Dunn, or Reverend Joseph Daddy Dunn, born 1746 until 1827. It was an English priest and entrepreneur who was noted for his importing and distribution of gas throughout the United Kingdom. And okay, in 1816, an earthquake in Aberdeen is the strongest ever in Scotland. If you know what an earthquake is, which I'm pretty sure everybody does, an earthquake is a shaking of the surface of the earth resulting from sudden release of energy into the earth's lithosphere. It creates seismic waves. Earthquakes can range in size from those that are so weak that they cannot be felt, or to so violent it can actually propel objects into the air. The wreck destruction across the cities, the seismic activity in an area of frequent types, such as earthquakes experienced over a particular time. Now, earthquakes can be either man-made or natural. Man-made is obviously by nuclear weapons, fracking, even drilling, mining, explosions, and many other types of earthquakes. Obviously, natural is from tectonic plates under the ocean or on land. Obviously, California is the main one. But going back to Aberdeen, Aberdeen is a city northeast of Scotland and the third most populous city in Scotland. During the mid-18th to mid-20th centuries, Aberdeen buildings incorporated locally quarrying grey granite, and which may sparkle like silver because of its high mica content. And it's just basically little highly polished granules of graphite. So it makes the tiles look very, very sparkly. And that's my two pieces there, Skip.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up fracking, because we actually had an earthquake here in near Whitecourt, and it was zeroed in that the fracking was involved because of it.
Wow. I mean, I understand why people want to do fracking, but I actually don't like it. I think it's dodgy in my thinking. That's my personal opinion about fracking. I don't think it should be allowed, because splitting ground apart is not a good way of doing stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, what events in Canada? Sir George Prevost died before consideration of Commodore Ville's charges, but the Duke of Wellington says he must have returned after the fleet was beaten. I am inclined to think he was right. I have told ministers repeatedly that naval superiority on the lakes is a sine qua non of success in war on the frontiers of Canada, even if our object should be wholly defensive. So they didn't take losing very well.
No, we would, especially in those sort of days. I got something coming up very soon about losing.
Yeah,
very soon.
Battle of Seven Oaks took place in Canada too, and no, that was not against different military forces. That was against the Northwest Company and the Hudson Bay Company for rights to do fur trade, and it was pretty nasty. The Hudson Bay men, they were actually the instigators of the confrontation, and they suffered about 21 deaths, and quite a few Métis and even one native got killed. The battle's frequently cited as a seminal moment in the history of the Métis people. Got to remember, you do understand who the Métis are.
The Métis are the natives, right?
Well, the Métis are half native. They're typically, and the Métis Nation in Canada, you have the Reds and the Blues. The Reds being the Western, the French with the Western Aboriginals, and the Blues being the Eastern with the Eastern Aboriginals. So,
right, okay.
So, and you'll see it in the Métis Nation. They have an unusual symbol in their flag. One would be red, one would be blue. And it just shows what part of Canada you're from. But they consider themselves a separate nation from all the other ones that are here to this day.
Is that... I remember going back ages watching the film, and these what do they call them, trackers or trappers? Sorry, these trappers.
Yeah,
and they used to. I've got a funny feeling Brad Pitt wasn't it, and they used to bundle up whatever they find, and they used to sell the stuff on. To
Brad Pitt and the bear attacked them.
Yes,
that's the Revenant, and it's based on a true. That's based on a true story.
Yeah, it was influenced.
Yeah.
By, I don't know, not the Secret Service, but it was something like the company bosses or whatever, and they realised that they were being manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the natives were getting killed off, and they were chasing the trappers because. And not trading, if I remember right. I haven't seen the film. I've only seen the film once, but it's really
and remember, Brad Pitt had a native wife, and that was his son that was with him. His son would have been Métis.
Yeah, and I think that's a true story, isn't it? As you said,
yes.
And that was taken around about the same time as that.
Yeah, I'd say about the same time. Yeah. Pretty
so
close.
That must have some kind of knock-on effect for that era. What you're talking about right now is I mean, there's always something that influences somebody else's situation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
None is the year of without summer because several climate anomalies like cause the average global temperature to decrease. Papa G's in the house. Great to see Papa G.
Oh, you just spotted him. He's been there for a while.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting history, and then talking behind, not just the highlighted history, it's behind the history. The interesting points. That's why I like writing it down so I can keep hold of it.
Robert's Coin Adventures says 14th of June, Society for the Promotion of Permanent and Universal Peace is established in London. And here I thought the League of Nations was the first one. Apparently not. So, and of course, the League of Nations was the forerunner of the United Nations.
Yeah, well, the League of Nations was a failure at the start.
It was a failure. That's right.
That was never going to work. It was, the British wanted payment, where the rest of the world wanted land,
mm-hmm.
And it was just not going to happen. I think it was a bit too early to do anything like that as well. It wasn't. It was just a mess.
It's interesting. Kingdoms of Sicily and Naples are merged into one kingdom under King Ferdinand I. They were still doing mergers and whatnot of different countries, even then.
Yeah, the Luddites. I spoke about them on Monday. Luddites were basically people who were against industrial changes, because you imagine how many office workers would be doing data entry and stuff like that many years ago, mm-hmm. And then a computer came in and took all their jobs, and that's what they were against. That's what the Luddites were. They were kind of old school. If you had like 20, 30 people harvesting the land, and then a combine harvester comes in and does it all.
Yeah.
So they would go around destroying factories and property and things like that. That's what the Luddites are all against.
Some positive stuff. October 15th, Lord Byron views the love letters of Lucretia Borgia and poet Pietro Bembo in Milan and declares them the prettiest love letters in the world.
Yeah, I spoke about Lord Byron on Monday as well. It's actually really interesting. It's really, really interesting. Obviously, I'm only putting highlights in what I find. And if you ever actually read into Lord Byron, it's actually really, really interesting.
Oh, neat.
Also a poet. He's a poet as well. Britain and Netherlands bombard Algiers in attempts to suppress slavery by North African Barbary states. I mean, when you just look at the highlights, you just read into it, and you actually go into it, there's always knock-on effect, and the timeline is crazy. The eruption of Mount Tambora, 10% of snowfall in New England, part of a year without summer, which followed the eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia.
I actually watched a documentary on this, and that was quite significant. A lot of starvation went on that year, and especially the UK really got hit hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, it hit the whole planet. But I mean, we're talking. It's like a nuclear winter. Suddenly, you've got temperatures dropped, crops are failing. The only thing that's missing is the radiation, thank goodness. But you still had.
The day after tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to live, and especially back then, because you're talking a lot of people were subsistence farming, so you don't grow a crop, you don't eat.
Well, that happened with I can't remember what state that happened with the locusts, isn't it? I can't remember what year that was. I think it was quite late. I think it's 19th century, but. It was like a locust, it ate all the crops, destroyed the crops. I'm not sure which state that was in. Utah. What's one of dry? And they grow these certain wheat, and it.
Well, if you talking Western United States or Canada or Central, wheat's grown throughout the central and western part of the U.S. and Canada.
And it was a locust. It was like this. It was sandstorms. I think it was sandstorms, and it killed a lot of the crops off, and people were starving. And
wait a minute, are you talking about the Dust Bowl?
Might have been the Dust Bowl, actually.
The Dust Bowl was like in the 30s.
Yeah,
where the U.S. people were starving there too. They had the Dust Bowl hit. That was caused mostly by over farming, though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know why it was. But yeah, so when as I say, going back in 1816, and people rely on. Everybody relies on farming one way or another, but when you have that snow and it completely freezes the land, and as you say, nothing's growing, people are starving. But people survive. That's the thing. To let the crop failure, death of livestock and famine. Yeah.
Yep. Just confirming what we're just talking about. Well, something good. The stethoscope's invented. Thank you, Renee. And there's Mount Tambora again, which is what caused everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
A rail capable of supporting a heavy locomotive is developed. That was a good invention. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't live through that. I know. I don't know if there might be a few of you my age, but when Mount St. Helens went off.
Yeah, I remember that.
I drove back. I actually drove by Mount St. Helens about 3 days before it went off, and coming back. Yeah, so coming back, I avoided the West Coast, but I went through Nevada and then into Utah and whatnot. When I got in there, it was surreal because the amount of ash that was still falling, and we're talking like a week later, was insane. Everything was covered, everything. And you can see how it would affect crops and change things dramatically. And I know we had a cool summer that year too, not as bad as Mount Tambora, but it was shocking. Not to mention a mess.
Mount St. Helens recently erupted again, about 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago.
I don't know. I've been too busy with the Ukraine to watch that, so I hope.
Was it about 4 or 5? It might have been. How long was it? About 11 days ago. It went off.
Really?
Storm CA. Yeah, it went off again.
Norman, it's always a pleasure to have you drop by, buddy. Let me tell you, every time I go to your channel, I get hungry. Him and his recipes. I love his cooking.
He's always cooking.
True enough. That was a good bit there, Papa G, about staying indoors and telling ghost stories.
Yeah, he's normally on at like early hours, like not early hours, but it'd be like normally out doing stuff. But when I get in, obviously you got America. Sometimes you have Bigfoot's in there. Is it Bigfoot? There's a few great other channels in there, but yeah, watching his cooking it's kind of weird though, because like doing this. Yeah, I haven't been there for a few days, but I think he's doing some steak stuff. Man, that was so good.
Okay, I got to make myself a nice dinner today. We're talking food again. Life's little pleasures. Wow, we covered a fair amount. 1816. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. We're going to have to move on. 1817 now, I guess.
All righty. Do you want me to go on to 1817?
Yeah, I'll put you on 1817.
All righty. This is going to be fun for you guys. I know 1817, the sovereign coin is introduced. The sovereign is a gold coin. Sorry, I'll start again. The sovereign is a gold coin of the United Kingdom that is nominal value of £1 sterling. So going back in 1817 up to 1971, our money changed from 240 pennies to a pound to 100 pennies to a pound. And obviously it struck since 1817. It was originally a circulating coin that was accepted in Britain and elsewhere in the world. But now it's a bullion coin and sometimes mounted in jewelry. In addition, circulating stripes and proof examples are often collected by their numismatic value. In most recent years, it has become the design of St. George and the dragon on the reverse with the initials BP. The designer, Benedetto Prestucci, are visible to the right of the date. So I do have one ready for you to see. I don't actually own a sovereign, but because they are friggin' expensive. If I can. Oh my word. Here we go. So that's an 1817 sovereign. And this is actually not a too bad price for this year, of course. And that's £725. And if you notice, we don't pay VAT. So you'll have the bullhead obverse of 1817, King George III, which should say George Jarvis III, by the grace of God, King of Britain, or George Jarvis III, Di Gratia Britanniarum Rex. And of course, you have the George and the Dragon right there. And then you'll have I can't remember what it says on the back. Is it Die Gratia Regina? By the grace of God, blah, blah, blah. Would it be Emperor of India then? I think he would be. So, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the cheaper ones. They normally fetch well over, depending on the condition, of course. That one to me is not that great condition. Okay, next piece of information is Waterloo Bridge opens in London. We've been talking about Waterloo, the chat has for a while now, since the war started. Waterloo Bridge opens in London. Waterloo Bridge is a road and foot traffic bridge crossing the River Thames in London between Blackfriars Bridge and the Hungerford Bridge and the Golden Jubilee Bridges. Its name commemorates the victory of the British, Dutch and Prussians of the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Thanks to the location and strategic bend of the river, the bridge offers good views of Westminster, the south bank of the London Eye to the west, and the City of London on Canary Wharf to the east. So that's 1817.
Robert's Coin Adventure says, show us some cheaper prices, please.
That is one of the cheaper ones. Free's good.
Free's great.
There's an 1817. And how much do you reckon this is going to cost?
That's a gold one? Oh, boy.
They're all gold.
1817. Uncirculated? Oh, my goodness. 20,000 pounds. Oh, that's way high.
I believe there is actually a sovereign.
Well, I could show you a half crown.
Ooh. I do have
a half crown there.
They're nice, they are. Look at that. You got the hang on a minute. Okay, as I said, you got the Royal Garter there, King James's diadem at the top, Britanniarum, Rex, Died, Benstory. You got the Tudor roses. What's that picture? Is that the lions?
Where on the shield?
No, around the shield. I know you got the Tudor rose, right?
See the Tudor rose. I don't see. Is that lions? Let me take a closer look. No, it's not lions. It just looks like some sort of fancy scroll. God, that looks weird. It looks like lace. Yeah, it looks like lace on there. Does it look like lace to you?
Do you know what? I don't even. From my point of view, because of the screen, it's like it looks like do you know those merry-go-round horses?
Oh well, yeah. I guess if you want to look at it that way, could be.
Who knows? I think Victoria was into her lace. She probably whacked that on there just for her own sake.
Yeah. First private mental hospital opens in the U.S. asylum for the relief of persons deprived of the use of their reason. Now Friends Hospital in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, didn't they throw women in there and said that they were I forget what they called it when they got upset. Heaven forbid if a woman ever got upset.
Yes. yeah, if there was also other medieval ways of dealing with women that would nag, and I think they're actually called nag boards, and they would stick the woman's head into these boards, and the two women that were arguing would stand there like that until they both went quiet.
Yeah, I'll remember what they call it, but that they consider it a mental illness.
Yeah,
We had
they did.
Holly Nabidi in the house
Into the
too.
asylums. The first private mental health hospital opens in U.S. asylum relief from prisons deprived by the Now Friends Hospital in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's interesting. The 10th of December, 1817, which is Lauren's birthday, not 1817, of course. Mississippi admitted to 20th U.S. state.
Mm.
Nag. It's all women doing that in the 18th century.
Yeah. 1817, Francois Page petitioned for monopoly of navigation of lower Canadian rivers by an invention of which he produces a model. I'm going to imagine that's almost like a model. What do you call they're the boats you use in the canals, the canal boats.
Narrow boats.
Narrow boats. Mr. McCord reads a petition for the deepening of the St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence was a real problem back then. Had a lot of spots that were shallow, and the ships would run aground. One Goody and others petitioned for monopoly of navigation on Lake Champlain in Canada, as the U.S. monopolists injure Canadian commerce by trading into Canada. So the Americans were sneaking into our waters.
Naughty. 1870, 67 sea serpent sighted. I missed it. I missed that one.
You know, you can get in trouble, Papa G. I'm trying to remember what did the women, what did they call it? I know they didn't resolve that issue until right into the 1900s.
I'm trying to think. ATVO. Princess Caribou appears in the Almondsbury. Yeah. Pension Rising Army prevents protesting labours from Derbyshire rousing agent in Nottingham. Yeah.
Now, question EAC, was the Erie Canal, dug by hand, or did they come up with old style cable bucket machines?
I reckon it's by hand.
I know a lot of them were done by hand, but that was the Erie Canal was a major project. So was it? There's something you can look up.
Hysteria.
Habeas corpus suspended amidst fears of insurrection to January 1818. Habeas corpus for what? What was the issue that they suspended habeas corpus? The Blanketeers, there's a new word. Blanketeers set out to march from Manchester to London on the 11th of March. 160 are arrested at Stockport. Blanketeers.
I have to figure that out. I've heard of them.
Like Mouseketeers, but only with blankets? I don't know. What were they doing?
They're probably a movement like a bit like a Blanketeer movement.
Typhus epidemic in Edinburgh and Glasgow. Oh my goodness.
Blanketeer fire. 1870. Oh, come on, phone. Okay. 200 years since the Manchester Radicals, better known as the Blanketeers, demonstrated it's basically just another form of movement, bit like the Ludnitz and stuff like that. The first coffee was planted in the Hawaiian soil in 1817 by adventurer Spanish physician, deep love of all things.
Thank you, Storman. Hysteria.
Hysteria.
The sovereign coin was reintroduced.
Oh, TV also talking about a football player who plays for Chelsea. Ziyech. The can of coffee was born. A can of coffee was born. Oh yeah. Bringers Blanket March was a democratic organisation in Manchester in March 1817. The first sword swallower. He should have got a better diet. Probably tasted.
Not to mention, was that sword clean before he put it down?
You think he had a bit of a sword throat?
Oh, that's bad. Jane Austen's first last completed novel, respectively, Northanger Abbey and Persuasion by John Murray in London. Dated. Okay, that's cool. First coffee was planted in Hawaiian soil in 1817 by the adventurous Spanish physician with a deep love for all things, especially coffee, apparently.
Yeah, and Hawaii.
Oh, Comet coffee? Comet coffee.
No, you're not a winner yet, I'm afraid. Boom.
Starbucks to follow.
Yeah, Costa Coffee.
You can keep your Starbucks. I'll take my Tim Hortons any day. Actually, McDonald's is better than bloody Starbucks.
We used to have a lovely Starbucks here, and then we went in one day. There was flies everywhere. It's disgusting.
So it became a fly-by-night outfit then.
Yeah, it's closed down now. Bad management. I mean, it used to be absolutely amazing place to go. Where it was situated was perfect. And then some manager must have took over. He must have been about 15 years old and just didn't care.
Why?
Let's talk about Ukraine. Ukraine, amen. Absolutely. There are the boys again, says Dimebag Darren, Canadian coins. The Bank of Montreal opens in Montreal. He's at work. He's at work.
Yay, that's my bank. Bank of Montreal.
I you're on the bank. I didn't know you were.
Oh, right. Well, let's take a look at 1818.
1818. All righty. Looking forward to that one.
1818.
1818. Right, my first.
1818. Look at the cool looking. Oh, I got an American coin this time.
Lovely. Is that flowing hair, waving hair, whatever?
Probably one of the guys be able to tell us. It's 1 cent. United States of America 1 cent coin.
Shall I read out my 1818 doodle? What's it?
Oh, by all means.
1818, the first blood transfusion using human blood. Dr. James Blundell carries out the first blood transfusion using human blood in London. James Blundell, born 27th December 1790 in Holborn, London. Sadly passed away on the 15th of January 1870 at St. George, Hanover Square, London. He's an English obstetrician who performed the first successful transfusion of human blood to a patient for treatment of hemorrhage. Blood transfusion is a process of transferring blood products into one's circulation intravenously. Transfusions are used for various medical conditions to replace lost components of blood. Early transfusions of whole blood in modern medical practices commonly uses components of blood, such as red blood cells, white blood cells, plasma, clotting factors, and platelets. But this is a bit of information here. Incas was first reported successful blood transfusions were performed by the Incas as early as 1500s. This was witnessed by the Spanish invaders. Richard Lowe, or Lower, pioneered the first blood transfusion from animal to human in 1665 at the Royal Society. And the Institution of Civil Engineers founded. I haven't put any actual specific dates on here. The Institution of the Civil Engineers, ICE, is an independent professional association for civil engineers and charitable body in the United Kingdom based in London. The ICE has over 92,000 members, of whom its 3/4 are located in the United Kingdom, whilst the rest are located in more than 150 countries around the world. That's my two 1818 factors there. And hope you enjoyed that.
I did. I enjoyed that immensely.
Thank you. There's a lot of talking. So he just wanted to, there's a lot of talking. That's what you do on a talk show.
That's exactly right. Especially when we're trying to cover as much history around the time of the minting of those coins as we can. And there's only so much that we can cover because, boy, a lot went on each year.
It did. It does. And it's around the world as well. So, but luckily, between me and Richard, the Coins Adventures, we're covering the British ones very well.
Well, I can tell you that in Canada in 1818, an expedition was sent to the North Pole.
Oh.
And let's see, the governor, Charles Lennox, who's the fourth Duke of Richmond, he died of rabies in 1818. Halifax and St. John's, not St. John, St. John's, were made free ports in 1818.
What does that mean for free port? It's like no tariffs or anything?
I believe so. I believe it's a port where anybody can dock and get provisioned.
Okay, so
it's especially important. You know, you're talking about days where you didn't have passports or anything, did you?
No,
so it was a port where anybody was welcome, even those that might be warring against one another. You had to respect each other.
Yeah. It's a bit like Port Royal then in Jamaica.
Well, okay, you're talking about pirates now, okay?
Parlay.
Yeah, parlay. The 49th parallel became British North America's U.S. border from the Lake of the Woods to the Rocky Mountains, with a few errors made.
Yeah, that was straight through Mount Rushmore, if I'm rightly, around there.
Is it through Rushmore? Is it through Rushmore? That's in North Dakota.
Yeah, but it went through there, didn't it?
I don't think so.
Part of it, didn't it?
It would be further north. It's towards Minnesota and.
Is that where the areas are? It's got like a kink in it or something. They didn't use.
There's kinks everywhere. There's a native reserve that's completely cut off. That's U.S., but it's you have to go through Canada to get to it. And then there's that part of Vancouver Island that belongs to the U.S. So you have to drive through Canada to take your kids to school in the U.S. It's stupid.
It's a hell of a school run, right?
Yeah. And in Canada, Dalhousie University was established.
Please don't kill yourself. State survey case operation suspended. I spoke about the British Institution of Civil Engineers. The Brooks Brothers, the oldest men clothier in the United States. Oh wow! Opens at the opens the first northeast corner of Catherine and Cherry Streets in New York City. I did that really quickly before. May 11th, Charles the 14th of Sweden, Norway is crowned King of Sweden.
May 28th, Walk in the Water, first steam vessel to sail Lake Erie. Interesting. And the Dandy Horse, the Loft Machine, is a bicycle is invented by Carl Dreis in Mannheim. The Loft Machine. I wonder if that's similar to a penny farthing. I'd like to see a picture of that one.
The Lauf Machine.
Lauf Machine. It's Lauf machine with an S. Because of course it's German.
Oh, it's like the Bone Shaker. Do you know oh man,
no suspension, wooden wheels.
No, it's not a BMX or a mountain bike. Put it this way, I'd rather walk than use this thing. I'm pretty sure when our museum opens up, I'm going to ask if I can film around it because I'm pretty sure they got one of these bikes up there.
Oh, that's horrible.
So you walk the bike. You actually walk it like that. And
yeah, you got to walk the bike. And remember, they didn't have paved roads.
Cobble streets.
you better be wearing something to protect yourself because you're going to develop a very high-pitched voice.
You can develop what they call basketball balls.
That would be awful. Just the thought of forget it. No way.
When you see the women there, they got these big smiles on their face going.
October 8th, Jack Boughton designed padded gloves, first used in a competitive boxing match between two unarmed English boxers at Aix-la-Chapelle in France. Yeah. Bare knuckle fighting was not cool.
Did you know there was a bare knuckle fighting fight that went on for almost 40 days? And they would never punch each other in the face. They would only hit in the chest because you can break your fingers while punching people in the face.
Meanwhile, every one of your internal organs and your ribs are busted and bruised.
I want to keep my fingers because actually it worked, but just don't worry about the rest of me and smash like the bits. Rocky Stone, I think. Rocky Stone was the last bare knuckle boxing champion. They actually do still carry out now professional fights with bare knuckle fighting. It's actually, I like boxing, I like UFC, and I love bare knuckle fighting.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the Seminole War that they're talking about, they'd already displaced the natives and put them in Florida. And, you well imagine the Seminole Indians are down there in the swamps trying to live. They're not happy.
Well, would you be surprised living down there with alligators and what do they call it? The what's the oh my goodness me. What's the marshland called?
What the Everglades?
The Everglades, that's it. God, would you be happy living around there? Alligators and all sorts down there. I wouldn't. It's got lovely beaches and stuff, but
But
got lovely.
you don't get me into the swamps of down in Georgia and Florida and all that stuff, because I did not like it. Easter Sunday in Western Christianity falls on its earliest possible date. In Western Christianity, it will not occur on this date again until 2285.
July, U.S. President James Monroe convenes a cabinet meeting to discuss whether General Andrew Jackson unauthorized, thank you, babe, invasion of conquest of the Spanish Florida disallowed by the White House. French psychiatrist Angus.
Dimebag wanted to see a coin for the expedition.
Yeah, I did have mine went up, but I went looking for that Luther's machine or the private independence breaking machine.
It's a big year for the U.S. with the change in the flag.
Yeah, because that went from the 13 stars to the stars and stripes.
Well, yeah, then they maintained the 13 stripes.
Yes.
Of the original colonies, right?
Yeah.
And then of course, the first one had 20 stars.
That's right, yeah, because obviously it was on about the 20th state, wasn't it, earlier, which was you said that about earlier, the 20th state. Was it EAC?
A while back.
Oh, hang on a minute. I got an 1818 coin.
A real one?
Yeah.
Yay. Brooks Brothers, the oldest men's clothier in the United States, opens its first store on the northeast corner of Catherine and Cherry Streets in New York City. Cool. Oh, let's bring that one up. Solo. There you go. You got one.
King George III.
Half crown?
Yep.
92% silver.
Yep, on that one. And,
they couldn't make it 925. They had to make it just 92.
Oh, it was 925, but I'd probably missed that out when I wrote it out.
So it's sterling.
Yes. I forgot to get that out early. I know I had one somewhere. $1897, 1837. I'm looking forward to next time. Can we just carry on doing this all the time? Battle chat's now over. We're going to carry on doing this.
Oh, how far back am I here? My goodness, there's a lot of good information.
That's 1894. What year are we on?
We're just finishing up 1818.
Oh, do you know? I know I got more coins than that. At least we've got an 1818 coin to show today, eh?
Yeah, that's a change.
It is change. That was last month. Border markers are formally installed in the European territory of Monreset. Monresnet? What's that? What's that? Monresnet.
Morrisnet?
Morrisnet.
Morrisnet? I have never heard of it. Claudine Thevenet, known as Mary of St. Ignatius, founds the Roman Catholic Order of Religieuses de Jesus Marie, Religious of Jesus and Mary in Lyon, France. A lot easier to say in English.
That's pretty cool. Robert's Coins Adventures. He has those of a shilling and a sixpence. I know I got more somewhere. I got so much stuff. I must get out and sort out. The thing is, I wasn't planning to come back on YouTube. So a lot of my stuff is away.
Gee, what happened with that idea? There you are.
Blame the lady.
Blame
the lady. And now she's a YouTuber now.
Yeah, she's
a
is.
Serious YouTuber. Yeah, she's serious.
She's really into the candies, though.
Sorry?
She's really into candy.
Yeah, she is.
And making them animated, no less. The Pac-Man was interesting.
Oh, the Pac-Man was pretty good, wasn't it? I saw it. You know what? I never get any of that.
You don't?
No.
Neither do I, except I do hoard minstrels when I get them in.
Babe, got to send some candy over to he doesn't get any.
Oh, flake. Oh, yeah.
You have a better chance of getting it than I do. You live in Canada.
Okay, we're going over the last little bit here, and then we're going to switch over to 1819.
Papa G, yeah. I'll tell you a true story. Obviously, I've still been collecting coins and stuff like that. And I had my coins out, and I was just sorting our stuff out. And Zoe goes, why don't you just go back on YouTube? And I went, oh, not really, you know. And she goes, just go back on YouTube to show what you need to show, do what you need to do, and just go back on it. And I've had a blast ever since. So I signed up a new channel. It got flagged by somebody. I had to do it all again, and then boom. Today is the 2nd of March, and Comet is blaming the lady. I am blaming the lady. She goes, go back on YouTube and just enjoy yourself, and that's exactly what I've done.
Every collector should have a piece of 8. So let's look at an 1819 8 real.
Oh,
all right. That's got to have the Spanish, and of course the Spanish coins were quite popular in North America. Since the British didn't like sending their silver over, they prefer to get their privateers and whatnot to distribute it. So I've yet to get one. Yeah, I have to get myself an 8 real, a real pirate one. And I'll start off first, and you can kick off next on this one.
Oh, that's 1820.
Yeah, 1819. Cape Breton officially became part of Nova Scotia. And you can get to Cape Breton by going across the causeway, which I've done when I used to sell encyclopedias. Don't try to sell encyclopedias to Cape Bretoners. It doesn't work. Anyway, that's a different story. Frederick Carter became the Premier of Newfoundland. No, that's wrong. No, that's when he was born. He did become the Premier of Newfoundland, but he was born in 1818. Well, those are births. Geez, they didn't have much history in Canada here. That sucks. Just births. Eden Colville, haven't heard him. James Cockburn, who's a politician. James Gibb Ross was a merchant and politician. And of course, Queen Victoria, Queen of Canada, was born in 1818. And of course, we all know she died in 1901.
Yeah.
Okay, that's me.
Have you seen Papa G's comment? He goes, I don't have a piece of eight, I have a piece of work.
Oh, good grief.
Alrighty, first off for 1819. There we go, 1819. This is Mexican.
Ooh. Oh, there you go. And that's an 8 real?
That is an 8 real indeed. I think it's probably the same one you picked up.
Probably, except that one's in better shape than the one I had.
Looks like you got the castle to the left. I think that is representation of Mexico City as a castle. You've got the lions, the pillars. Is that Hispanic? Hispanic king. I don't know who the king is at the time.
Was that Ferdinand?
I don't know. I'll try. Here you go. Ferdinand, is that right?
Hey, that was a good guess, man. It's Ferdinand.
Okay, 1819. Okay, so now we're on History of Coins, Numismatics, Coin News of yesterday, 1815 to 1819, your local UK and world history today. Alrighty, 1819. William Smith discovers the Shetland Islands in the Antarctic. William Smith, from 1790 to 1847, was an English captain born in Bly, Northumberland, who discovered the South Shetland Islands and I can't even pronounce this word, Archipelago off Graham Island in Antarctica.
Oh, archipelago.
Archipelago, okay. He discovered was the first ever made south of the 16th degrees south latitude in present Antarctica Treaty Area. The South Shetland Islands is a group of Antarctic islands with a total area of 3,687 kilometers squared, or 1,424 square miles. They lie about 120 kilometers or 65 nautical miles north of Antarctica Peninsula, and between 430 to 900 kilometers or 230 and 284 nautical miles southwest of the nearest point of the South Orkney Islands. That's my first piece of information. The second piece of information is the act of is an act of Parliament. This was taken on earlier with another type of thing. The act of Parliament is to abolish private appeals following the acquittals of criminal cases, to abolish trial by combat in the aftermath of Ashford and Fulton in 1818. And the trial by obviously the act was taken in 1818, but this is in 1819 when the trial of combat was asked. The trial by combat is a wager or battle. Trial by combat is a judicial duel with a method of Germanic law to settle accusations in absence of witnesses or confessions in two parties in dispute fought in a single combat. The winner of the fight was proclaimed to be right in essence. It was it was sanctioned to duel in remaining in the use of throughout European Middle Ages, gradually disappearing in the course of the 16th century. Ashford versus Fulton in 1818, an English law case in the Court of King Bench, which upheld the right to defend the trial by battle in the private appeal from acquittal or murder. In 1817, Abraham Fulton was charged with the murder of Mary Ashford. Fulton had met Ashford at a dance and walked her from the event to the next morning. She was found drowned in a pit with little evidence of violence. Public opinion was heavily against Fulton, but the jury quickly acquitted him and found him not guilty of rape. Mary's brother, William Ashford, launched an appeal and Fulton was rearrested. Fulton claimed to be right by trial by battle, but the medieval uses have never been repealed by Parliament. Ashford argued that the evidence against Fulton was overwhelming and that thus he unable to wage battle. I was going to get in more to this. I find this is actually quite. You should read it for yourself. It's actually quite a lot, but it was acquitted.
Really?
So they actually did fight, I think, but nobody knows what actually happened. I think they did actually duel at some point in London somewhere, but I can't remember where. Oh, look at that. May 22nd, the city of Memphis, Tennessee is founded. My date of birth. Well, my day of birth, anyway.
I didn't know you were that old.
Neither did I. May 22nd, the SS Savannah leaves port in Savannah, Georgia, to voyage, became the first steamship to cross the Atlantic Ocean through. Only a fraction of the trip were made under steam. Oh, wow. It's grown up, isn't it? Yeah. Hi, hon. This could be a good new year. The run of kills. Oh, dangerous state.
Oh, I didn't know Norwich University was the first private military school in the U.S. Never would have guessed that. And there's a familiar name for you. Simon Bolivar triumphs over Spain in the Battle of Boyaca. And I see a lot of coinage with that Simon Bolivar on it from the South America.
Nice, isn't it? Yeah. Trying to figure out what was that first one you had? The
the 8 real?
With the first miniature. I thought that would have been West Point.
Oh yeah, I would have thought it would be West Point too. No, it was in Virginia.
That's interesting when you find one thing and another one comes out and German astronomer. Oh, the city of Memphis is founded. The German astronomer Johann Georg Trail discovers what to be called the Great Comet of 1819. It's been awesome history tonight, to be honest.
That was a lot. Well, we'll cut it off there because we go on and on and on these years. But my goodness, it's a lot of information. Oh boy!
And don't forget, we can always go around again at some point as well. So.
Oh yeah, anytime you want. Of course, we will probably do that. I mean, it just keeps going. Well, you know what, my friend, it was an easy one tonight. Really easy one because we had 3 participants that really went overboard and did some great stuff. Robert's Coin Adventures and Ferret 45 and EAC even popped in there. So those 3 are going to get a coin today. And you, by the way, will get your special at the end of the month. So you
have to do that, brother. I mean,
that's okay. I don't mind. Your contribution is so valuable. So let's take a look and see what kind of coins we're going to come out of the magic bucket, the old bucket list. And we'll do Robert's coins. Let's do him first.
I was entertaining. He says Dimebag Darren Canadian coins.
Oh, he gets a brand new the colorized dime.
Is that the blue nose on there?
That's the blue nose one. That's Canada's first colorized one. So
That's
Robert
nice,
gets that. Just cool. Now, Ferrip, we'll do you next. Oh, get in there. There, drop. Oh, what do we got here? We got a Victory Toonie.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful looking coin. That is the way they got the colors on there. I just like that.
That's a beauty. So we got the Victory Toonie on there. And EAC, gee, what will EAC get today?
SkyQuest.
EAC, oh, gets an American. Oh, this one's silver. 1964.
Dime. Rosie.
Rosie.
Got Rosie.
There you go.
Congratulations, everyone, and thank you for checking out all the information. It's actually sometimes your eyes open to thinking of one thing, like the last one. I really honestly thought West Point was the earliest US academy.
It's like amazing stuff. So all those will go into your packages. They go at the end of the month. Just make sure I got your email at your proper address. I think I got you guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got all three of you now. So that's great. And we'll put that in the envelope for you and ship it out. And hey. Yeah, that was a good one today. We got,
I like that one.
You know,
we're getting into the coins now where we're all in the history we're all more or less familiar with. So as time progresses, obviously, hopefully I have more coins to show you. So can't wait.
Oh, by all means, we'll have all kinds.
And yeah, I can't wait. This is, homework next week, next Monday, 9 p.m.
Yeah, purse. That'd be 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here. And of course, we've got your wonderful channel and battle chat coming up here on Thursday.
Do you know, I'd rather do this all the time.
Well, at least doing this, your eyeballs aren't rolling like this.
Yeah. I look like an old machine from some blinking Nevada Sunset Strip casino, you know. Just about works, you know. One-arm bandit. Oh, remember, we've got the draw for tomorrow. So if you are in the draw for the coins or the prizes, there is no head-to-head. But I'm not telling you who's won, who's in the top three. So people's moved up positions, people's moved down positions. So I'm going to be working out something for the end of the year as well. Can't wait for tomorrow night. A brand new month, remember, so it all starts again, it rolls over every month. Just come in, play the game anytime you want to. It's entirely up to you. But the more hits, the more consistent hits you get, the better it is for you guys. And
exactly.
It all adds up. You don't have to win every single month. Well, you know, you like to win every single month. But, you know, it's like Lisa had a really good month and then she had a really bad month. And then some people was in the lead. Some people lost the lead. Some people had a really good month, really lucky month, which is, it's just all it is. It's first person cut, first serve, and just luck of the draw.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But yeah, it's. I mean, look at what Silver Tanifer done to Irish Collector.
I know.
It knocked the red ship out, and but who's to know? Who's not? I don't give anything away, so he doesn't know what's happening, and you know, I don't. You know, it's as the skipper says, if it's rigged, it's only wooden ships.
That's exactly right.
Or it needs sellotaping somewhere.
Oh my goodness!
No, man, I love it. I love this history stuff. History, man, is just the best.
Well, the big thing is, as we progress through this, we realize that it's not just collecting coins for the sake of collecting the coins.
No.
It's having an intimate knowledge of a lot of the history that went on during the time of the mintage.
Yes.
And you hold on to a coin that's that old, and you look at the history that went on during the year that was made, which makes it a lot more.
Yeah, because you don't know who's held it, who spent it, what they spent it for. What did they buy? A pint? Did they buy some flowers? Was it used as a lucky coin? Was it used? You never know. You just never know what's happening, and that's the fun thing about this. It's not just just doing history. It's a history with what was going on. That's why we'd love to show you more coins. If these coins, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like proof coins and beautiful proof sets and stuff like absolutely beautiful, but I think most people enjoy sometimes that circulated coins offer a better especially what they've been through. They've been through wars, conditions that we can't even think of for over 100 years, and they're still with us today, and they landed up in our collections.
Mm-hmm.
And so from the first person who minted it, 100 odd years later, it's landed in your collection.
Exactly. You see what EAC put there? Thank you for clearing that up for us. West Point was the first military academy, but it's government owned. The one that we mentioned was a private military academy.
Oh, okay. See, that's that is actually really interesting, because I just didn't even know there was actually a private military academy.
Well, you've never watched the movie Taps?
Oh yeah, with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, one of his earliest ones.
Tom Cruise. Actually, quite a lot of famous people come out of that movie.
That's right.
But I thought I didn't know that was private.
Yeah, that was a private military school.
That's a good movie. I'll watch that now.
We used to have that when we were kids. My school was mandatory to belong to the cadets. So all of us were in uniform. There's 1,700 of us.
Wow.
In that school, we were all in uniform.
It's voluntary over here.
Yeah, we had a rifle range in the school. We had a special room designated for the officers and senior NCOs, and even the hall monitors were in uniform. And if you ended up in detention, you had a guard outside the door.
So I didn't know that. I mean, over here it's just a recreational insight, and the actual range is still up the road where we used to go. Then we used to go down to Salisbury, over at the is it the 200-yard range? No, that's 100-yard range. And then we went down to Salisbury. As you know, you go down to the foxhole doing the pasting. Then you went back down to the shooting foxholes, shooting the old Lee Enfields, 303s, 22s.
Okay, got to clarify. It's not a foxhole. It's called the butts.
Oh, the butts.
The butts. That's where you go and you put the targets up and down. The butts.
Yeah, not the foxhole. Butts. The foxholes where you sit there and you shoot from, or you get a choice up. You can either lay down or you can stand in the foxhole. The butts is the other end where you pasted, and then you used to get the spider graph and see if they got a target, so they got a badge at the end of it or something.
Mm-hmm. Hello, SkyQuest. My namesake, my great uncle, was a 1913 graduate of West Point. That's very cool.
Oh wow, that's with the wavy gold bands, isn't it? Then, like the sleeves. Is that right? West Point cadets. So the
they had I think that was their rank. You had different ranks for the cadets.
Is it white trousers, blue top, blue tunic?
Very interesting.
Wow, that's
Very
really interesting. Actually, the West Point.
It is. Oh, hello. Oh no, that's looky there. Thought there might be someone there.
I went to Catholic.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a good feed, my friend.
Dimebag Darren Coins makes me laugh.
He always does, yeah.
He goes, I went to Catholic school and I wore a uniform.
I wonder if it was pink and yellow. Can't picture Dimebag Darren Lowe in a pink and yellow uniform. Anyway,
With
so I'm going to call the live feed quits here, and we'll meet up again on Coin World UK's channel on Thursday.
tomorrow.
And I want to thank everybody for coming out. And again,
Thank you for having me again, sir. I love it. I look forward to these 2 days. My favorite 2 days of the week in the evening.
Yeah, and we're moving into 1820 next.
Yeah, 1820 until 1824, I believe.
Yep. So look for it. Tell your friends. The more the merrier. Then you can make our eyeballs roll back and forth as this chat goes by.
Yeah.
Because usually it's his.
It's usually mine.
With that in mind, take care, everybody. This
Good night, everyone.
Skipper signing off.
Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.
Take care.
You stay on for a moment.
Yep.